Labour's National Campaigns Coordinator, Andrew Gwynne, joins us now. This is a bit of a headache for you, isn't it?
Well, it's not how I planned to start the day, but...
You're in charge of this document as the National Campaigns Coordinator.
I'm not in charge of the document, but the point is that today the whole of the Shadow Cabinet, the National Executive Committee and other stakeholders are meeting to go through what will become our manifesto. This document that has appeared in the newspapers today isn't the manifesto.
What is it then?
Well, it's a draft of policy ideas that have been collated from various members of the Shadow Cabinet and their teams and other stakeholders. What we will do today, it's a very techie meeting in the Labour Party constitution, a Clause 5 meeting, is we will be thrashing out our manifesto.
OK, so tuition fees being scrapped, £6 billion extra going into NHS funding, scrap public sector pay freeze. You're going to put those in the manifesto, or you don't know yet?
Well, those will be put to the Clause 5 meeting. The Clause 5 meeting will decide what the manifesto is. But a number of those issues have already been pre-announced. They are Labour Party policy. We, of course, want to fully fund the National Health Service. Of course, we want to ensure that young people have the best possible start in life.
Do you want to scrap tuition fees?
I would love to scrap tuition fees.
Is that going to go in the manifesto?
Well, let's see what comes out of the Clause 5 meeting. So I know I've been saying it for weeks now. It seems weeks. Just be patient. But actually, today is the day that we decide our manifesto. Okay. And I think that there will be some really exciting announcements. Well,
Andrew, one of the issues with all this, of course, is you're talking about this meeting and all these were ideas that are going to be put to this meeting that we voted on and then finalised in the manifesto. From the outside, it just looks like a shambolic piece of politics here in terms of the responsibility for these manifesto for Jeremy Corbyn yesterday joking about the fact he's got some of the details here, he's not going to give them too early, and then all of a sudden he's got all of a sudden it's all over the newspapers. Conservatives calling it a shambles. They're talking a lot about this coalition of chaos, and it just lends to the idea that you're not in control.
Well, the Tories would say that, wouldn't they?
No, but it's not just the Tories. Though. Look at the papers. Look at this.
But
this
let's
is
look
one
at
of
the
most
opportunity here, Ben.
For the election
we're actually
for
talking about,
and yet it's been leaked.
But look at the opportunity here, Ben. We're actually talking about what kind of country we want to live in. What kind of direction do we want? Do we want the 7 years of failure we've had under the Conservatives, where people have been held back, or do we want to have a different kind of society, a society that looks after the elderly,
but you're
a society
saying these things
that looks after the young people?
The manifesto.
Well, that's only because, Susanna, we've not voted on it yet. We've not had that discussion. We've not had that debate. But these are the policy ideas that are going to the meeting today.
Andrew, do you have a problem with the fact that this has been leaked? Are you kind of like, in a way, is it quite good because you'll get a taste of what the public might think about renationalising Royal Mail? You get a taste of what the public might think about renationalising energy, and they'll go, oh, they like that, let's keep it in.
Well, we've got to look at this from where we are. I would sooner that we didn't have this leak, but we have what we have. And yes, it allows us today to discuss the direction of travel. What kind of country do we want to live in? Do we want to live in a country where we invest in the National Health Service, in education, where we create an economy that works for the many, not the few? I'm viewing this as an opportunity rather than something that is a setback.
If you, for instance, scrapped tuition fees, how would you pay for that?
Well, one thing that I'm not going to do, and it might disappoint you, Susanna, is I'm not going to give you chapter and verse of Labour's spending plans. Everything that will come out of the manifesto will be fully costed, and when we launch the manifesto, it will be there in the document how all of these measures will be paid for. That's part of the discussion we've got to have today. But believe me, these will be fully costed.